Welcome to the virtual college exploration for all Missouri students, sponsored by the Missouri Association for College Admission Counseling and StriveScan. Thank you for joining us. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to the presenters at any time. Your camera and microphone are off, so if the panelists cannot see or so that the panelists cannot see or hear you. This is just one of the many different sessions happening, so be sure to check out the full schedule at MOACAC.org. This presentation is being recorded and will be available within about a week at the same website, MOACAC.org. I'd now like to turn it over to our presenters.
Awesome, thank you, Cabrina. Okay, get mine started here. Okay, perfect. Can you all see my screen?
Yep.
Jane, can you see it? Okay, perfect. Well, thank you all for coming tonight. My name is Amanda Sisk, and I am a regional recruiter with the University of Alabama. I live in the St. Louis area, and I work with students throughout Missouri and Southern Illinois as well, too, who are thinking about the University of Alabama or going through the application process, and I'll be your main point of contact as you go through your college search with us. So I'm excited that you are here tonight. I do have one of our current students with us as well, too. Her name is Jane. I'll let her introduce herself as well.
Hi, like Amanda said, my name is Jane. I am currently a graduate student at UA. I just finished my bachelor's last year in aerospace engineering, and I'm getting a master's in aerospace engineering and an MBA. And I went to Clayton High School, so I'm from St. Louis.
Perfect. Well, what we will do is we'll kind of walk through some of our information on the University of Alabama. And as we go through everything, I'll probably, stop and let Jane kind of give some information on her student experience as well too, so that you hear from both myself and then also some student info, which I think is really valuable for you as well too. Now, for those of you who have not been able to visit Alabama's campus before, just some general information about location and the campus itself. We are in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. If you're coming from the St. Louis area, it's about an 8-hour drive down to campus. If you're coming from the other side of the state in Kansas City, it's about an 11.5-hour drive down to campus. So, we're a little bit farther from home. I always tell students that the benefit that you get at that end of that long drive is some warmer weather throughout the year. So you can definitely enjoy being out in, being outside, enjoying everything that Tuscaloosa has to offer. Now, in regards to just some information on what's in the local area, really everything that you will need, you will find on campus, but a lot of our students like to explore Tuscaloosa and get to know the area and get off campus every once in a while. So we do have an area called the Strip. That's our campus town area. That's an area that is really right off of our main quad. And so in easy walking distance, you have access to a lot of great restaurants and shops, grocery store, there's a Publix right there. And then downtown Tuscaloosa is only about 1.5 miles down the road. And there's a lot of great restaurants and shops down there, Bama Theater, the Tuscaloosa Amphitheater is nearby as well too. We have a river walk that goes by campus. So there's just a lot of great things that you can kind of get out and explore off campus as well too. Now on campus, we are Alabama, we are a larger public university, and we're also a research institution. This fall semester, we have just about 38,000 students on our campus. About 32,000 of those are our undergrad population. And I think that one of the really neat things about the University of Alabama when it comes to our student body is where our students come from. About 58% of our students do come to us from outside the state of Alabama. So I think what's really neat with that is that, as a student coming to us from Missouri, you know that you're going to be on a campus with a lot of students from really everywhere and get to meet people with a lot of different backgrounds and different interests. And I think it just really adds a lot to your college experience. And I think it makes a big difference in our campus community. Now, academically, you have a lot of great options when you are exploring at the University of Alabama. Some of our bigger options on campus tend to be, and our bigger majors tend to be within business and engineering, and in the College of Arts and Sciences areas like psychology and biology, political science. But do know that we do have over 200 major, minor concentration programs at the University of Alabama. So you really have quite a bit to choose from. Student to faculty ratio wise, we're 23-1 right now. So we try to keep as many classes as small as we can, and we have a wonderful faculty that will make sure that you're getting everything that you need both in the classroom and out of the classroom if you ever need assistance. And a lot of the students I work with, aside from their major, they might also try to add on like a study abroad experience or even some undergraduate research experience during their time at Alabama. Now, one other thing that I see quite a few students doing at Alabama is also participating in our Honors College. If you're a student who has maybe had some honors classes throughout high school or participated in AP classes or college level credit, I think that our Honors College could be a great option for you. A lot of our students that are involved in the Honors College really enjoy that it can be a smaller community within our campus, so you can get the best of both worlds when it comes to having that smaller campus community, but then still very much being a part of our larger research institution. Now, there are really two ways to become a part of our Honors College. The first is if you apply as an incoming freshman. And these are just requirements for the Honors College. We'll talk about general university admission requirements in a few minutes. But with Honors College admission, what we typically look for is a 3.5 GPA and a 30 on the ACT or 1360 SAT. That's to enter in as a first-time freshman. There's also the option as a current student to apply to Alabama's Honors College. And once you've been on campus with us for even just a semester, once you have a 3.5 UA GPA, you are then able to apply into the Honors College. Now, aside from our general university honors programs, we do have 7 total honors programs, so 6 plus the university honors, and they all have kind of their own specialties. So if you're a student that maybe is looking to explore research a little bit further or become involved in leadership and service, if you're looking for an even smaller like liberal arts community, Blunt Scholars could be a good option for you. Or we do have our STEM path and create path to the MBA programs. I'm going to let Jane talk about one of those in a minute. But those are programs that allow you to do your undergrad as well as your MBA within a 5-year time frame. So, aside from our majors, I think that we have some really unique programs on our campus and some great ways to even enhance your major. So with the Honors College, the small class sizes are a big part of it. Academically, you're going to get some of your general education classes, some of maybe your major classes, and then also some pretty special topic seminars as well too. But there's also a very good social side of the Honors College. Now I am going to just turn it over to Jane for just a couple minutes so that she can kind of give you a student perspective on academics in the Honors College and tell you what she's been able to become involved with during her time at Alabama.
So I've been a part of the Honors College in 2 specific ways. I'm a part of the General University of Honors program, which basically means I have the option to take some of my general classes as honors. So I took my calculus classes as honors along with some others, but I've also been able to take different university honors classes, which aren't necessarily related to your major. So you can do a lot more cool classes that you might not necessarily have the time to delve into within your major. So that was a lot of fun. Those classes are also generally a lot smaller, which is really nice. And I also am a part of STEM Path to the MBA. So I'm actually in the 5th year of that right now, pursuing my MBA. But what that is pretty much you get a STEM degree while taking different business classes throughout your undergrad. And then for your 5th year, you complete an MBA. So you actually apply to the MBA program, after your junior year. And once you're accepted, you continue and you actually get an MBA in 5 total years. So it's a really cool program. I definitely recommend it for anyone pursuing a STEM degree, just because that business aspect is very important. It's really nice, especially if you're an engineer, to also be able to communicate effectively and talk to people. But really any STEM degree or any degree whatsoever can benefit from taking business classes, because at the end of the day, wherever we work, it's going to be at a business. So understanding that is really important. And just being able to work on teams, communicate effectively, all that's been really, really helpful. So I really enjoyed those programs. I also took advantage of the Honors Action program, which is before you come your freshman year, you do a week of service. You get to come down early. It's a smaller group and you actually get to do service projects. I enjoyed that a lot. I got to meet some people before school started. So I also really recommend that as well. But the Honors College has a lot of really awesome programs. So I definitely recommend taking advantage of those if you're able.
Awesome. Thank you, Jane. Now, one thing I would say we really pride ourselves on at the University of Alabama is our campus resources that we offer to our students. We strive to really make sure that our students not only are getting everything that they need in the classroom at Alabama, but also are getting support and, everything that they need outside the classroom at the University of Alabama. So, part of that kind of starts day one with academic advising and making sure that, you're getting everything that you need class-wise and that you're staying on track of your graduation requirements. Part of it might be outside the classroom tutoring, our Capstone Center for Student Success, our Writing Center, Math, Technology, and Learning Center provides some awesome tutoring programs, or if you need just want someone to look over a paper before you turn it in. There's a lot of staff available to help with those outside the classroom aspects. Parent and family programs put on some different programs throughout the year. So we know that Alabama is not always just an experience for the student. Families get very involved during their students' time at Alabama. And so parent and family programs is available and plan some fun things from family weekend on throughout the year. And then I would say one of our biggest offices that students will work with once they come into Alabama is our first year experience office. This office provides additional support in both staff and upperclassmen mentors to our students. And they have a good variety of different programs stemming from, if you ever need to meet with someone just to find out ways to get involved on campus, you can meet one-on-one with a staff member. Or maybe you're wanting to connect with other students and get some insight from older students. We have our Navigators program, New View programs for upperclassmen mentors to connect with our incoming students. So there's some really great ways that that we try to enhance our students' experience on campus. But essentially, we want to make sure that you're successful in what you're doing throughout your years at Alabama so that you can move on to that next step, whether it's finding that first job, going to graduate school or professional school. We want to make sure that you get to whatever your goals are. Now, one of our biggest resources, I would say, on our campus is our career resources. We're really proud of everything that we offer on our campus. Currently, we have actually 4 Career Center offices. We have our main Career Center that works with our entire campus, but we also have Career Centers located within our College of Engineering, our College of Communication and Information Sciences, and also within Culverhouse College of Business. This past year, we were #1 in the SEC and #2 in the nation for internship placement. And our Career Centers really put on some really cool events throughout the year, ranging from internship fairs to job fairs. Our Career Center counselors will always help students with resumes, with interview assistance. So, we really make sure freshman year on that you are prepared to be looking for those opportunities and that you can meet those companies on campus and successfully interview for the positions that you're applying for. I am going to turn it back over to Jane for just a couple minutes. I know she's had some really neat internship experience, and I just wanted to give her a minute to tell you all about what she's done throughout her time at Alabama and how the Career Center has helped her as well too.
Yeah, so the career centers here are great. I've used the Engineer Career Center in my undergrad. They helped me with my resume, my cover letters, and just applications and interview prep. So I was actually able to get, I had an internship with NASA, United Launch Alliance, and Boeing. So I had some really cool opportunities. And the Engineering Career Center was very helpful with getting those applications ready, making sure I was all good. Faculty on campus was very helpful with writing rec letters. So that was really nice. And now, now that I'm a part of the MBA program, I have a lot of benefit with the Culverhouse and Manderson Career Centers. So those are amazing as well. I've gotten to experience that. We get emails almost every day with job openings. There are businesses that come directly to talk to us. So there's a lot of really, really good opportunities, and everyone it's really trying to help you get hired, help you find jobs and internships. So it's definitely very helpful. If you take advantage of the opportunities, they'll help you find different positions to apply for. They'll help you connect to alumni, and there's just a lot of really great opportunities out there.
Awesome, thank you. I know sometimes it helps to hear some information from a student as opposed to me, so I'm glad that Jane can also share her experiences with us. So I'm going to move on with some information about the admission process at Alabama. And just as a reminder, as any questions come up, don't hesitate to type them into the Q&A to the chat. And if I don't answer them as we go along, I will work to answer them at the end of the presentation as well too. But just some information, general information about the admission process at the University of Alabama. I think overall, it's a pretty simplified process with Alabama. You know, in the process itself, we don't require an essay or letters recommendation. The first step is to really submit your application for admission. That can be done through our own website. We're not a part of the Common App at this point, so everything is through the Alabama website. And there's a $40 application fee. Or there's a fee waiver option as well too. Now with the application for admission, the application itself is mostly going to be asking you for background, basic information about yourself. So once you've submitted that to us, we'll also be wanting to see your official high school transcript. And if you have ACT or SAT scores, you'll want to submit those as well to us. Now, for our fall 2021 students at this point, we have introduced a conditional admission program for students who have not been able to take either the ACT or SAT. I know that we've had quite a few test dates that have canceled already, and it is something that we're monitoring as a university. So if we do have any changes in policies, we'll continue to update our website as well too. But as of now, for admission, you know, if a student has not taken the test, what we'll do is we'll review your course history, your GPA, and look at that information as the main information in the process. Students who are admitted conditionally to UA will be required to submit an ACT or SAT test by May 1st. So that's how it's set up right now. Generally speaking, in the admission process, we'll be focusing in on the courses that you've taken throughout high school. We'll be looking at your GPA as well too. We typically like to see around a 3.0 GPA. If you have the ACT or SAT, around a 21 on the ACT or 1060 SAT. We are on a rolling admission process. So what that means is that we're constantly, you know, working and reviewing applications and working on those admission decisions. So once you have a completed application, typically within a few weeks at most, you're going to hear back from us. So we won't make you sweat through your senior year waiting to hear back from us. We'll let you know pretty quickly if you've been admitted. And then I would say the biggest date to be aware of in your senior year is our scholarship application priority deadline. And that's a January 15th priority deadline. Okay, now we're really proud of our students that come into us every year at the University of Alabama. This freshman class that just started with us this fall, they had an average GPA of a 3.83. Almost 40% of our freshman class scored a 30 or higher on the ACT, and we had 221 National Merit Scholars in our freshman class. So we're very proud of these students and what they bring to our campus academically. I would say we're also very proud of what they bring to our community on campus. We have a lot of students that have been very involved throughout their high school years, both at their school and in their local communities. And they come to Alabama looking for that balance between having a very strong academic side, but then also, you know, wanting that community engagement and that involvement. And we'll talk about campus involvement in just a little bit. But we're, you know, we're proud of all that these students contribute to our campus community as well too. Now, I mentioned scholarships, and I think one of the great things to know about the University of Alabama is that we do have some fantastic out-of-state scholarship opportunities for students. So the scholarships that you see on the screen right now, these are our out-of-state freshman merit scholarships. These are actually automatic scholarships as long as a student is admitted by May 1st. So the starting point for our merit-based scholarships this year is with a 3.5 GPA and a 25 ACT or 1200 SAT if you've taken the SAT, or for students within the 3.0 to 3.49 GPA range, we'd want to see a 27 ACT to get you into that, that first level, that Crimson Legend scholarship. That scholarship starts at $6,000 per year, all the way through our presidential scholarship of $28,000 per year. Now, as I mentioned, these are our automatic scholarships. Aside from these merit scholarships, we do have some very specialty scholarships, I would say, as well too, that I want to make sure that you're aware of. We have our Presidential Elite Scholarship. This is for a student who has a 4.0 GPA and perfect ACT or SAT score. These scholarships go past the value of tuition. And then we also have our National Merit Semifinalists, which is equivalent to a presidential scholarship. National Merit Finalist Scholarship Package, which goes past the value of tuition as well as our National Recognition Scholarship Package. National Recognition, it's a program that we work with through College Board for students that are recognized by National African American, Hispanic, Indigenous, or rural and small town recognition programs. So there's some really great scholarship opportunities out there based on what you've done throughout high school and based on your academic merits. Now, aside from academic merits, just also know that we do have some departmental scholarships on our campus. I mentioned our January 15th scholarship application priority deadline. So in order to be considered for any of these competitive scholarships, you want to make sure that you're submitting your scholarship application to us. Students are able to submit the scholarship application to Alabama once they're admitted to Alabama, and January 15th is that priority deadline to get it into us. But these competitive scholarships, they're through various departments on campus, through academic colleges, through the National Alumni Association. I encourage all students to make sure that they are submitting their scholarship application to us so that you can really maximize what you can be considered for. Now, in regards to cost, right now for our out-of-state students, the cost of tuition, fees, room and board in total is just under $45,000. So this will give you a good breakdown of what's included in the cost at Alabama. You'll also see some indirect costs on this list. These are things that won't be direct billed to you from the university, but that cost that you will incur or might incur as you go through the university. So things like books or transportation costs to get to and from the university are things that are included in this. Now, aside from scholarships, it's going to be really good to know that we also do have a financial aid program at Alabama. So in order to be considered for financial aid, you do need to submit your FAFSA to us. That's something that the earliest you can do is early October. And March 1 is our FAFSA priority deadline. But based on those FAFSA results, there could be anything from grants to loans to work study opportunities available. Now, I did get one question. I'm going to stop here for just a minute to answer any questions. I did get one question so far about National Merit Finalist scholarships. Are they competitive? Is there a limit to how many are given out? No, there is not. So as long as with National Merit Finalists, as long as you, here, I'll go back to this slide real quick. But what you need to do once students are named finalists is you need to update us with the letter or certificate that you receive from National Merit. As long as you are admitted by May 1st, you've gotten us that information, and you also name Alabama as your first choice with National Merit Corporation, then that scholarship will be yours. So that is not a competitive scholarship. You just need to make sure that you kind of go through all the correct steps on that. Okay, I'll go back to where I was. Now I'm going to switch kind of our direction a little bit, because I know that the academics fit is a really important thing as you go through your college search, as is the financial fit to a university. But one of the other really important parts of finding the right college fit is also that right campus life and campus environment for you. And I do think that Alabama, one of our strengths is our campus life that we offer to our students. There's a lot of great things that you can get involved in. There's a huge level of excitement on campus throughout the year. I think it's just a vibrant campus to be a part of. And really, a huge amount of campus pride, campus spirit. Even here in Missouri, you'll hear a Roll Tide every once in a while, or see an Alabama bumper sticker on a car, and it just makes your time that you're, at Alabama that much more fun. So there's quite a bit that you can look forward to getting involved in as you get to campus. Currently, we have just over 650 different student organizations at Alabama. So, whether you've been involved in, student government or volunteer work, or, some other organizations at your high school, there's definitely that possibility that you can continue on with something similar at Alabama. I also work with a lot of students who are just really trying to try something new when they get to college. And I think that that's a great time to explore your options and see what's out there. We do a big activities fair. It's called Get On Board Day. We do that really the first week or two that classes are in session each semester. And that's a good time for you as a student to walk around. All of our groups will kind of set up tables by the student center and around the quad, and it's a great time. It's really hard to avoid, so it's a great time as you're in between classes or before or after class to kind of get out there and see what's out there. In addition to the student organizations, we do have a wonderful Greek community on campus if you're thinking about fraternity or sorority life. We do have a big recreation program too, so aside from our NCAA Division I teams that I think we're known for, a lot of our students on campus like to stay active in one way or another. So through University Recreation, we have a couple of rec centers. We've got intramural sports. We've got some club sports as well too for those students that are wanting to continue on in something a little bit more on the competitive side. But you really have a little bit of everything for everyone. And aside from the groups that you can get involved in, you'll find a full events calendar with Alabama throughout the year. So, there's a lot of great athletic events, music, theater, arts events, events within your academic college to check out. So I think it's really hard to get bored on campus. And we start off the year with our week of welcome. That is a week of activities on campus, sometimes off campus as well too, where you can get familiar with the campus. It could be something like a movie night in the quad, but also get to meet some new people. So that's kind of the fun way that we start each year off. Now I'm going to turn it over to Jane again, just so that she can kind of give some information from the student perspective on campus life and, ways to get involved and anything that she wants to talk about as well.
Thanks, Amanda. Yeah, there is tons to do on campus. You definitely will not be bored. I will suggest that if you're anything like me, try not to get over-involved and overcommit yourself, because it's very easy. There are tons of organizations. There's tons of things to do. I myself have been a part of the Ambassadors of the College of Engineering. That's a really cool organization. All the colleges, as well as just the university itself, have different ambassadors. So those are the people that give tours, work events, things like that. That's something I really enjoyed, and it helped me just become more professional, helped me communicate better. That was a really cool opportunity. I'm also part of the Alabama Rocketry Association, which is one of our engineering student design teams. So we have a bunch of engineering student design teams on campus if you're interested in engineering. We have anything from like a robotics team to a Formula Car team to a rocketry team, and tons of stuff in the middle. So there's a lot to do there. You also don't have to be an engineer to join. We have business majors. Some of the teams have English majors to write their papers. It really just varies, but those are both really cool opportunities. I was involved in Greek life as well. I really enjoyed that, just to get a community of women, but there are literally so many organizations. I definitely encourage you to go to Get On Board Day, talk to those organizations, find your fit. And the Week of Welcome is also just a wonderful time to meet people and get involved and kind of like get to know Alabama. So there's lots and lots to do. You will not be bored. Going to sports games is also so much fun. I obviously go to football games, but also basketball games, baseball games, all those are a lot of fun as well. And then the rec centers are a great opportunity to go to as well. They're great for anything from working out to different classes, and they even have a rock wall. So there's lots for you to do. I promise you won't be bored, and it's very, very easy to get involved and find these organizations as well.
Awesome. Thank you, Jane. Now, a big part of campus life for our students, especially for our incoming freshmen, is going to be living on campus. So we do have a requirement for all of our incoming freshmen to live on campus for that first year. You have some really great options when it comes to the residence halls that we have on campus. We have some different types of room setups on our campus. So some of our residence halls are more traditional in nature, where you would share a room with another student on either an all-female or all-male floor in a co-ed dorm, or we do still have a few residence halls that are either all-female or all-male. We also have a lot of suite-style housing for our incoming freshmen. So with the suite-style housing in a typical 4-bedroom suite, there are 4 bedrooms, 4 students, 2 bathrooms. So each student has their own bedroom space to share a bathroom with just one other person. And then there's also like a common living room area and kitchenette as well too. So there's some really great options. Our housing application typically opens up in early October each year. And we do have a housing priority deadline of February 1st. Now, what this means, this is not an end-all deadline for housing. We definitely have students that apply for housing after February 1st. But for students who know that they want to attend Alabama and apply before February 1st, that allows them to participate and be eligible for online room selection. So those students who apply for housing a little bit earlier throughout the year will have a little bit more say-so in picking their room online, and there's even a way to match up with a roommate. Now, along with housing also comes dining on campus, and I promise you, you will not go hungry on Alabama's campus. We've got anything from the all-you-can-eat dining halls that we offer on campus to some fast food setups as well too, things like Subway and Chick-fil-A and Panda Express and Raising Cane's and Starbucks. And really, as you go throughout campus, you'll find some different options, wherever you are on campus. So like I said, it's really hard to go hungry on our campus. You have a lot of great options. Now, especially for you seniors out there, I wanted to make sure that we go through some of the important steps that you'll have to take your senior year if Alabama is your choice college that you choose. Now, the first step that students will need to take is submitting their freshman enrollment deposit. This is something that can be done through your MyBama account. This deposit is a $200 non-refundable deposit, and it saves your space in our freshman class. After you've done that, you are able to complete the housing application, and there's also a $200 prepayment for housing as well too. And then after you do that, and come February timeframe, you'll be able to register for Bama Bound orientation. In Bama Bound orientation, it's a summer program that we offer. We offer typically around 15 to 17, I think, different orientation programs throughout the summer. So you have a lot of different dates to choose from. And that's when you come to campus to choose your classes. It's a good time to get to know campus a little bit better, to get to know other incoming freshmen, and then of course your orientation leaders as well too. So you have some some upperclassmen guidance as you go through the process itself. Now, for those of you who haven't seen the campus yet, definitely know that we have a couple different campus visit options going on right now. We offer both the virtual options as well as our in-person campus options. So virtually, you know, if you're not able to make it to campus yet, or maybe not comfortable with traveling quite yet, just know that we do have our virtual tour online. The tour that we have online, it's about a 6-minute tour. So it's not going to take up too much of your time to check out, but we'll definitely hit a lot of the important parts of campus and get you some good information and just a good visual of the campus itself. Aside from the virtual tour, we do also have some virtual information sessions online that you can sign up for. These virtual info sessions range anything from a virtual admission presentation, something very similar to what you've heard tonight, to College of Arts and Sciences or College of Engineering, information sessions. Culverhouse College of Business are all hosting some right now. We also have student Q&A sessions online as well too. So there's just some really great ways to get to know not only the campus, but also some areas that you're interested in from the comfort of your couch. So just know that those are out there. For those of you who are ready to visit the campus and visit in person, definitely know that we do have a couple of in-person visit options as well too. Monday through Friday, we are running our campus tours again, and these are both campus walking tours and then a campus bus and walking tour. So our morning tours are walking tours. They're led by our campus tour guides. Afternoon is a combination of bus and walking tours, also led by our tour guides. So you have some really great options. One thing that I always recommend for students to do is definitely keep in contact with me. You'll see my contact information on the next screen. Let me get that up there. So that if you are going to be on campus, I know, you know, it's definitely a trip that you're taking to come to our campus, and I want to make sure that you can see and do a lot of different things while you're there. So, you know, if you're on campus on a weekday and you want to check out, you know, an academic college that you're interested in, or the honors college, Greek life, something along those lines, definitely keep in touch with me and let me know when you're visiting, and I can always try to set up those appointments for you. You know, areas like College of Engineering, you get to meet students like Jane who you know, give tours of the engineering facilities, and so you get a really good in-depth look of the programs that you're interested in. Now at this point, if anyone does have any questions, I will be happy to answer them. I don't see any in the box here right now, but we can give it another minute or so. Jane, is there any like advice or anything else that we haven't really talked about that you would mention to students? Or, I mean, I guess if you want to just give a little bit of input of why you chose Alabama, that might be helpful to the students as well too. Oh, and you're on mute right now.
Yeah, I just feel like Alabama is a very special school because there are so many resources here, and I honestly believe that anyone can come here and be successful with those resources. You just have to take advantage of them and find what's out there. I think that a lot of the opportunities I had, I wouldn't have necessarily had at another school. Just because here it's a research institution, we have so many things going on, we have great research, we have great teams, but you just have to go for it, honestly. Like a lot of people just won't go for certain opportunities, so just taking that step, joining a team, joining a club, that's really what you got to do. And I recommend trying new things, finding what you really enjoy, and yeah, I mean, honestly, the tools to be successful are here. I really think that anyone can be happy and be successful here because there are just so many people, so many things to do, so many ways to succeed. It's really just up to you to seek out those things for yourself and figure out what you like, what you want to succeed in, and then build the connections that you need. So that's what I would say. Also, if you have any questions for me, just email Amanda. She can send you my way. And yeah, I'd happy to answer any questions about being a student or like engineering specific, but it doesn't have to be about engineering. Yeah, whatever you guys might have questions about. But hopefully it was helpful to hear a student perspective, and I'm happy to answer any other questions you might come up with later if you don't think of any more right now.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jane. At this point, it doesn't look like we have any further questions coming in. So, Cabrina, I'm not sure if we need to turn it back over to you with everything out, but I definitely wanted to take a minute to thank you all for coming and learning a little bit more about the University of Alabama. You know, we're lucky to have you including us in your college search, and I'm excited to work with you as you go through the college search process. So thank you very much for coming out tonight.
I do want to share that when you close this window, there will be a link to a very quick 4-question survey. We'd appreciate if you could give us some feedback. Also, don't forget to sign up for other sessions at moacac.org, and you can also receive this recording in about a week. Thank you so much for joining us. All right, well, thank you, ladies. You did great.
Thank you.
And Jane, I think you were at the luncheon where you shared your information, and I wrote it down then, but I told my girls they need to reach out to you. I do have one
definitely
interested in aerospace engineering, and then the other one is just interested in Bama life.
Nice. What is your last name?
It's Noonan, N-O-O.
Oh yeah, okay. I think my mom emailed me about you guys being interested. I don't know. But yeah, that's awesome.
All right, well, thank you guys, and enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you.
Thank you.